You also wrote an article relative to Jim Schwartz leaving. Todd Monken and Schwartz met, and they couldn't come to an area where they could convince Jim Schwartz to stay. Take us through the article and just kind of your thoughts on that.
Well, they did meet. It was the day before Todd Monken's introductory press conference. Todd Monken tried to talk Jim Schwartz into coming back from everything that I can understand and gather. And Jim just wasn't up for doing that. This was very difficult for him not to get that Browns job. He really wanted this job. This is where he started his career in 1993. He went very deep into the process. And I was told that he came really close to getting the job. So it probably came down to just Todd and Jim. I think by that point, even when it got to the final day, I think it was probably those two guys. Nate Shieldhouse was still in it, but I think they had gotten to the point where they realized they probably wanted someone with a little bit more seasoning, a little bit more experience. So I think it came down to Todd and Jim in the end, and they went with the person who was going to be able to help them transform their offense in a more robust fashion. And that's what they really needed, someone who could get this offense to an elite level. And that is why Jim was passed over. But it was very, very difficult for him. It was really hard. And at this point in time, he just could not bring himself to come back and not get that promotion and go back to being the defensive coordinator of the team. I think that's unfortunate. I think that those two guys would have worked really well together. I think they're very similar. I think they're sort of mirror images of each other on opposite sides of the ball, and I think they could have possibly been dynamite together.
Um, does the defense suffer a little bit just because Jim Schwartz isn't there? And I know the talent is there, and there's just something to how you make the pieces fit. That's the coordinator's job.
Well, we'll see how it goes. We'll have to see how it goes because they could either hire someone from within who already knows everything about Jim's way of doing things and just continue on in that vein with Jason Tarver or Ephraim Banda. I was told that Ephraim was going to be in line for the defensive coordinator position, possibly if Jim had gotten the job. So you could either do something like that, or Todd Monken could call upon someone that he's worked with before, someone like a Corey Unland, who was also in Cleveland before, or one of the guys that he's already interviewed. You've got Aubrey Pleasant and you've got a number of other guys that have been requested. So there are many different ways that you can go about it, but they still have their players intact, and I think that is the key here.